Maharashtra's farmers are crying out for help. Severe drought has been declared in 112 talukas and nearly half of Maharashtra is facing acute water shortage.
तकलीफ बोले तो बहुत बोलने की बात नहीं हो जानवर नहीं को आदमी को नहीं पानी ऐसा बहुत परेशानी
पिछला जो साल में जो सूखा था तो उसमें कम से कम पानी था अब ये सूखे में तो पानी भी नहीं है
The Chief Minister has declared severe drought in these areas just days after Miranao travelled to Marathwad, one of the worst hit areas, and did an in-depth ground report to assess the situation.
We covered Marathwada region, of course. All 8 districts are severely drought hit according to this drought report and the GR that's been issued now by the Maharashtra government.
जितना पैसा जिधर जरूरी है उधर ही करने का ना जिधर गरीब लोग जितना इतना किसी का पास कुछ नहीं है उधर ही देने का है
गरीबों की भलाई में खर्चा होना चाहिए या वो लोग जो आप जिसको बता रहे हो उसमें खर्चा होना चाहिए स्टेचू में नहीं खर्चा होना चाहिए
हमारा तो कहना यही है जो पैसा इतने मूर्ति में लगाया जा रहा है ये पैसे से क्या फायदा होगा ये गरीब लोग को पैसा मिलता तो जो भूखा लोग हैं जो कपड़े जिसके पास नहीं है बच्चे बीमार हैं उनको पैसा मिलना चाहिए
It's not just drought. In Maharashtra, malnourishment and the lack of proper schools are a serious challenge. In our cities, roads and infrastructure are in critical need of upgrade. India asks, does Maharashtra need an expensive statue, or are there more pressing issues for the state to address now? There are several serious issues right now in the state of Maharashtra. The most pressing of which is the drought that has been declared in 151 talukas. Remember, this is drought for the second year in a row. Our reporter Amita Balchandra, who travelled through Marathwad, brought us harrowing stories of farmers who are barely surviving. 10,692 suicides of farmers in the last couple of years. What is more important at this point? Saving our farmers, feeding our children, or building a statue? Joining us on the show, Shailesh Gandhi, former Chief Information Commissioner, Yogesh Pandey, spokesperson for the Swabhiman Shetkari Sangathan, Sanjeev Unhale is a senior journalist, I.C. Rao, president of the APLI, a group of activists who are currently fighting the statue in court. Mahesh Tapase is the spokesperson of the NCP, Makrand Narvekar for the BJP. I welcome all of you to the conversation. Thank you for joining us. I want to start with Yogesh Pandey of the Swabhimani Shetkari Sangathan. Yogesh Pandey, drought declared now in 151 talukas. What is the status for farmers at this point? And do the farmers want this statue?
Faye, the state is deepening into agrarian crisis day by day. The situation is much beyond what you are presenting. In Maharashtra, over 75% state is into serious water crisis, and it is November, it is winter. No one knows what is going to happen in March, April, and there is going to be very severe water crisis. People will starve. There is no cattle field, and no one knows how to save these farmers. On one side, when we are saying about statue, farmers are really upset. The need of the hour is that farmers should be protected, that money can be utilized for a proper, chara chhavni, making the arrangement, and government is not serious about these issues. It occurs here, they are dancing, they are singing their tunes about Jalyuk Shivar. The reality is that the groundwater level has dropped beyond 3 meters, and we are not serious about this issue. So people are really upset, and no one knows what is going to happen next. The reality is the people are facing this worsening situation, and on one side, last year we discussed, for 500 rupees our daughters have committed suicide because she didn't have a amount for a pass, and we are spending money for statues. So it's really shameful. And what are the priorities? The government is, this entire stand is self-contradictory. On one side, they are claiming that they don't have money, they don't have funds for spending, and on one side, they are spending on the statues, on advertisement, on traveling, and on the other nonsense things. So it's very serious saga, and farmers are the end sufferer for entire approach of the government. Yeah, Faye.
But My question also to Shailesh Gandhi, former CIC. Mr. Gandhi, when you see what the priorities of the government are, and there are several issues right now as far as malnourishment is concerned, women who are dying in interior Maharashtra in childbirth, those numbers are very worrying as well. The state of government schools, the state of healthcare, and the state of infrastructure. Where do you stand on the question of should we be saving our farmers or building a statue?
I think at a time when people are dying of hunger, at a time when people are committing suicide, at a time when children are dying, it is absolutely unacceptable to spend 3,000 crores rupees on a statue. Maybe 10 years, 15 years from now, if the state is very rich, we could afford such luxuries. But at this stage, this almost reminds me of Marie Antoinette. And I'm surprised that in a democracy, my leaders behave like this. Even now, I would submit they should stop this, pay attention to this, ensure that enough relief is given to the drought-stricken and farmers are relieved from some of the distress at least. Also, I think one should consider whether sugarcane farming should be allowed in these areas, because that is one slight alleviation that can happen. The water situation is very bad. I can't even begin to think how the government can handle this, but they should take it up on a war footing and declare their next plan for the next 6 months. I think that's the least they can do, and let us know how they are going to handle this. Compared to the statue right now, please, no, and for the next 10 years, the answer will be no.
The next 10 years, the answer is no. I see, Rao, we might get an answer from the Bombay High Court tomorrow. You were in court today. What happened in court today?
The arguments were made for the lapses on behalf of the government in respect of the environment regulations, plus the additional expenditure and the effect on the fishing activities. And we hope to have the arguments are over today. We hope to have a judgment tomorrow. But what I would like to say is that the government's priorities have been to issue a tender, get the bids, somehow get the contractor to reduce the price by compromising safety, removing a jetty, removing the supports for the wall, and then issuing a letter of acceptance in great haste, then the contract itself. And the last bit was to issue a commencement certificate, a commencement date on the 19th of October. And yet, we have been saying, please don't do it because you have not done anything technically correct. In April 2017, we wrote a letter to the chief engineer saying, we request you to discharge your fiduciary responsibility to safeguard public funds from non-productive expenditure. We are placing before you our arguments based on logic and moral force to act in the interests of the public good. We sent a copy of this to the Chief Minister, the Honorable Minister for General Administration, Honorable Minister for PWD, Chief Secretary, etc. In one of those, we gave 25 points. One of those was that the first item of work, real work, in a project like this is to look at the soil. We said that the soil investigation report given by the Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, which had endorsed that report, I said that it appears that no geologist has seen the report. Even till this was 1 year ago, yet there is no geologist looking at it. And we said there that the report was falsified. Then that was in 2017.
But the government went out and issued a tender anyway.
Please see that in 2018, after the contract was issued, the contractor went to the site and did his own borehole investigation, and he found something completely different. Then samples were given to so on. And like this, there are many such lapses. No wind tunnel test. No, nobody has seen the Inland Vessels Act to say which are the kind of boats that can go there, when, how, what should be the training. None of these, this is real work. And real work is not done.
Not been done.
But they have been signing away.
Okay, so they've put out the tender anyway. So we'll come back to those details. But Makran Narvekar of the Maharashtra BJP, here's a question. If you got disconnected midway, Shailesh Gandhi said very clearly that I'm surprised that our leaders at this point have got their priorities wrong. They should be focusing on the farmers. They should be focusing on the families of farmers instead of building this statue. What is your answer to that question?
Look, the answer is very simple. Today, if you see, Maharashtra government is very much committed towards progress, towards development. Its agenda is very clear. If you see, if you're comparing, there is a situation of drought in the state. And if you compare that or try and link it to the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj statue, I don't know where you can compare apples to apples. But today, if you see the statue itself, not only will it be the tallest statue, but it is going to generate employment in every way. While building, after building, tourism, your unorganized sector. So it is not something that is going to be spent on, and it has its definite benefits, which you and I are well aware of.
Okay, so
as
if you're asking me why I'm making the comparison, Mr. Narvekar, let me point out to you why I'm making this comparison. The Maharashtra government is in the Maharashtra government at this point. The state is in severe debt. We are 4,06,811 crore rupees in debt, and that is expected to go up to 4,61,807 crore rupees in the next financial year. Now, given the debt that we are in, our budget to agriculture has not been as healthy as it could be. Now, while we've totally budgeted 2,500 crore rupees to the statue, we've got 432 to drip irrigation, 162 bore wells and farm ponds, 100 crore rupees to organic agriculture, and 100 crore rupees to horticulture. We've had a severe state of suicides in the state of Maharashtra, a severe state of child starvation, maternal mortality, and children out of school. Now, what could we do with the money? Instead of spending it on a Shivaji statue, we could build hospitals, we could build schools, we could actually manage to put in drip irrigation and feed our farmers. Go on, please.
I will just correct your facts over there. This situation of drought that we are facing right now is not the first time in the history of Maharashtra. In 2011, a situation like this had arisen. 6,200 villages were declared at that point of time, and that too in 2011. It was in January 2012, it was declared by the then state government that yes, we have a situation here.
Yes.
In 2012, there was a situation where 300 villages were declared under the drought. If you compare it to today's situation, in October and November, we are talking about 18,000 villages being covered under various schemes by the state government because we have a situation of drought. Now, coming back to your figures of the farm sector, if I may, if you allow me, just a minute. If you allow me today, let me just read out the figures to you. 3,115 crore rupees has been allocated by the Maharashtra government for irrigation projects like the ponds, the wells, etc. Your 8,233 crores have been allocated for various water resource department. Now compare these figures
to the 2,500 that you allocated to the statue.
15-year record.
Okay, no, so here's my question. Is it not true? One second. All right. Is it not true? One second, Mr. Makran Narvekar. Is it not true that the Maharashtra government at this point is having trouble paying salaries, that the Maharashtra government at this point is having trouble meeting its requirements of pensions from its former employees? The Maharashtra government has in its last budget cut its rural development budget by 9%. It's cut its water resources budget by 2.3%. Its health budget by 7.1%. And your social justice budget by 5.5%. Shailesh Gandhi, do you want to rebut, and I'll take it after that back to Yogesh Pandey, but do you want to rebut Mr. Narvekar's arguments here? Mr. Gandhi, can you hear me?
I've got something about the money.
Yes. That's it. Mr. Gandhi?
How, Mr. Narvekar, how much money are you allocating for the drought? How are you going to tackle the drought? Can the government lay out a clear plan and tell us? We don't know. This seems to be a secret. And we are talking of building more and more statues. And you mentioned the tallest statue. Is this a race amongst the tallest statues in the world? And are we fools to believe that just because we build something taller, the whole world is going to come and see there? I think we are making a big mistake. In fact, as a nation, today we are not spending as much money on the Taj Mahal, which is an established tourist attraction worldwide. On the other hand, everyone is in this game of saying, I'll build a longer statue, I'll build a taller statue. Do you really believe that that is going to bring India's economy and prosperity through tourism? It is not. And Mr. Narvekar, my request to you is, please outline the amount allocated for drought relief and the plan for drought relief in Maharashtra. Please tell us that at least. A lot of time is being spent on statues. Spend some time and tell us that the Maharashtra government has actually worked out a plan. This is how it's going to operate. This is the money going to be spent on it. And this is the plan. Please tell us. We would be very obliged, Mr. Narvekar.
Yes, and for that argument, let me also point out, if we are going to argue the tourism argument for this statue, calculations tell us that even if the statue became as popular as the Taj Mahal, which is the most popular tourist monument in our country, it would take us over 100 years to recover the investment made in this statue. Sanjeev Unhale is a senior journalist. Mr. Unhale, go ahead. What is your comment on this matter?
The first thing is that the BJP spokesperson is taking the drought in a very casual manner. The drought is a very casual thing which appears in 2011, 2010 and so on. The first, it is very pertinent to note that this is the very severe drought after 1972, where we are facing the problem of drinking water in a severe way. Whole Marathwada is under drought. And Mr. Vinayak Mete, who is hailing from, who is playing the instrumental role in establishing the Shivaji statue, he is hailing from our Marathwada region for the skilled block. And he should also try to understand what is the drought in his block, in his village Rajewadi. Because everybody is now facing the drought, and at that time you are establishing talking the language of the tourism. If you are talking in the language of tourism, what happened about the Ajanta and Ellora in Aurangabad? Because they are also equally important tourism place, but they were completely neglected by the government. And no amount, no FTDC guest house is going on. And at this situation, my feeling is that government has no money to spend, and just they are killing the time, because now what is the need of the situation, that they should plan out a short-term and long-term plan to face this drought. This drought is a not normal thing. It is the effect of the climate change, that they should understand it very well. And the need as far as Marathwada is concerned, where all the blocks are facing the severe drought, there is a need to take the urgent cabinet meeting in Marathwada. They have taken only one cabinet meeting in 2015 October, where they have announced 55,000 lakh rupees for the Marathwada development. And it was a very loud and very hollow slogan. What is the need of the metro train and your Samruddhi way before you know this drought? Because here there is a problem of the livelihood. That people, they are making out the suicide. All the district banks have been, they are facing the debt and everything. It has been completely drowned. And in this situation, what the people they will do? There is no any employment for them. I hope that there is an urgent need to look after the drought. And Shivaji statue is nothing but an emotional and political issue they are making out. There is no any sort of a development or anything else. And I hope that now at this juncture, they should stop all these things.
Mr. Yogesh Pandey, specific to do with the drought in the Marathwada and Vidarbha regions right now, what is your response to what Makarand Narvekar said? And he said basically this is not the first time it's happening in Maharashtra. We had a far worse drought in previous years. What's your response to that?
No, it's a really shocking. The BJP person is saying milk farmers were on street 2 months back, and till day they are not paid the incentive amount. government is saying we don't have money. On other side, when we are saying about milk or then Chhatrapati Shamman Yojana, it's a 2 years. Till date, there is no clarity how much people have got the loan waiver. Third issue is about the insurance scheme. Farmers have not got their insurance amount for last 2 years. People are waiting on that. Government is silent. And most important, the figure they are saying, and entire India, the amount spent on agro processing is not even more than 1,000 crore. That is the bitter reality. Now, Mr. Narvekar is saying about generating employment. There are a lot of other ways. You promote agro processing industry, you promote rural development, rural infrastructure. There you can generate employment. Why we need a statue? For such, just for it's clear politics, and just they want to make a split. That is emotional, because people cannot openly come and oppose the statue of Honorable Chhatrapati Shivaji ji. So they are taking that as a issue. But the farmers are facing very severe problem, and government is not serious about that. That is a very serious thing.
Yes, go ahead.
I think it's a misnomer to say that the cost of the statue is 2,500 crores. The bid was 3,826 crores. It was reduced artificially, only temporarily, by, for example, removing GST, 300 crores, removing operation and maintenance, and which is part of the guarantee which any contractor is expected to do for the 1 year's operation maintenance, that has been removed from his scope. All signage has been removed. Communications have been removed. The firefighting appliances have been reduced, and so on. Now, all these will be required, but later. So that this reduction in the cost is only very temporary. The experts tell me that the cost as of today is really 8,000 crores, because the government has...
8,000 crores?
Yes, because the government has signed the conditions of contract as per an International Federation of Consulting Engineers. It is called the General Conditions of Contract, and the cost optimization comes senior to this.
Okay.
The special conditions of contract, particular conditions of contract are also there.
So
all these things are
there
left enough loopholes for the contractor to claim, because the contractor will say now that the soil is different from what you told us. You told us there is compact basalt at 11 meters depth. We've gone down 100 meters and found no rock. Now pay us more. And pay us more for the logistics. Pay us more for the delays.
Sure. So you're saying that there might be an inflation in the cost.
This says that in 42 days you must commence the contract. If you don't, the contractor can lay claim on you.
Okay.
They were not ready to start, so they took 90 days. That means the other 48 days will be already there. The government is under default.
Okay. So you're saying that there is room,
more and more claims from the contractor, and that's how it will become 8,000 crores.
Okay, there is room here for the cost to get even more inflated. Mahesh,
the sooner they cancel the contract, the less money will be paid. So that's our plea.
Mr. Mahesh Tapse of the NCP, what is the NCP stand on the matter of farmers in Marathwada and the drought that has been now declared? Remember the fact that Makrand Narvekar said in the years 2012 and 11 it was a worst drought, at which point your government was involved.
See, I think the government has been very late in announcing the drought. It is actually in more than about 205 tehsils, and last evening what we heard was that the drought was declared in 151 tehsils. In fact, all this is because of the new drought policy which the government brought in 2016, and that has got stringent provisions as far as terming a tehsil or a state in the drought category.
Yes.
And I'm sure with all these things happening, government will definitely try to complete. We as opposition would support the government in battling out the drought and saving the common agrarian
person.
Is it not true, Mahesh Thapse, that this Shivaji Memorial was initially mooted by the 2004 National Congress Party government and cleared by the Chief Minister then Vilas Rao Deshmukh in 2008?
No, Shivaji Maharaj is the pride of Maharashtra. He is the pride of agriculture community. He is the pride of the peasants, the commoners, and also the seamen of Maharashtra. Shivaji Maharaj started the naval wing, in which has now become the big navy of India. And I don't think that any person living in Maharashtra has an objection for building the Shivaji Memorial.
So
Whether
if your
it's our
government was in
or any
power,
government,
no,
we
one
would-
second. If your government were in power at this point, and you were faced with the same question that the BJP government is currently faced with, what would your stand be?
I would like to emphasize here that most of the panelists here have not read the manual for drought management. You see, in a drought-like situation or in a drought situation, the funding for this region is totally different. It doesn't come from the state contingency fund as of now. As far as the Shivaji Memorial, they may have made some provisions, but I do not know why the government has been dilly-dallying on the erection of the Shivaji Memorial. But yes, today saving the farmer. Today saving the farmer is the utmost priority. We should be with the farmer. The government has not taken
The priority
steps.
should be set, Faye. The priority should be set now.
No, the priority is definitely set. We are going to stand by the farmers, but that doesn't mean that the Shivaji Memorial is not happening. It is definitely going to happen, but today we are going to stand by the farmers. We have been pressing as opposition that the government should immediately declare Maharashtra as a drought state, wherein we have 50% of the tehsils gone to drought. Now, I would like to also mention that last year Gujarat had 29% less rainfall. Did you go there and object to the Sardar Patel statue, which has recently been inaugurated?
Well, the Sardar Patel statue, the construction had already begun. It was
but-
nearly complete.
but-
Construction is
yes.
not done here, and we can still reprioritize this money before we start spending any money that can be used in a better.
But Gujarat also had drought. So why
your
opposition to
point?
Shivaji Maharaj?
All right.
Because the work is not being done properly. For example, there is a report here saying contradictory views from Mumbai Mirror, which says contradictory views put a question mark on Shivaji Memorial. What action has anything been taken?
Yes,
We have
between
said here.
L&T and IIT Mumbai. One second, we have a couple of
Yes.
people on the phone line, Shehnaz, and I want to put it on record here that the NCP agrees with the BJP in the fact that the Shivaji Maharaj statue must be built. Shehnaz from Meera Road, Mumbai. Shehnaz, go ahead, please.
It is not necessary. The point of, obviously the other points are more important right now, the development, the farmers and all, and the Gujarat statue. If that is not discussed, if one mistake is made already, why to make another mistake? And there are many other important points for the development of the country. Why waste money on this and why not help our country in other ways? If it is important for Shivaji Maharaj, then why not in his name open hospitals, schools, and many other things can be done.
Yes. Pradeep from Jaipur. Pradeep, go ahead.
Yeah. There is general say that भगवान इंसान में बसता है मंदिर में नहीं और अगर इंसान को खुश रखेंगे तो मंदिर के अंदर कोई प्रसाद चढ़ाने का कोई उद्देश्य नहीं है. On the similar point, I just want to mention our priorities. I think this government has changed a lot. There is no difference between the Baspa and Bajpa. Baspa was making the elephants and other things in the name of Kashi Ram Ambedkar and wasted a lot of money of the public. The same thing is being done by the BJP by making the statues in the Gujarat, whether it is Sardar Patel or Shivaji Maharaj or Ambedkar, whatever it is. So this is a party, I used to think this is party with difference, but for last 42 years, I was associated with this party, but now I am fed up with all the working of this BJP. And I
Okay, all right. So let me allow me to give Makran Narvekar, please, an opportunity to respond. Makranji, do you want to respond to our viewers who just called in?
Yeah, then there are two things. One is, people perception and speculation is, what I'm hearing the speakers who are talking right now. It's all about ifs and buts and, painting a very gloomy picture. But if you see, today there's a constant comparison, drawn between the Shivaji Maharaj statue and the farmers, government's commitment to the farmers. Let me tell you, I'll state a few facts for your knowledge. That 2015, there were 3,266 farmers, who committed suicide. Out of those, 2,166 farmers have been paid ex gratia by the government. 2016, 3,091 farmers, out of which almost 2,000 have been paid. 2017, 2,900 farmers, out of which 1,700 have been paid. Compare these figures to what the figures were before 2014.
No, but Makarand Narvekar, I hardly think, I'm sorry, I hardly think it's the government's job to pay ex gratia after a farmer is dead. Shouldn't we be trying to bring down the number of suicides instead?
I'll tell you, I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about the government's commitment. I'm talking about the government's commitment to the issue. I mean, just because the government is spending for,
but you don't have the money. How can you be spending this money?
An X amount.
Where is the money going to come from?
It is not committed to the other issues, which are probably, as or more important.
Okay, all right.
Today, talking about.
No, so Makarand Narvekar, you called out in your commitment. You called out in your commitment the ex gratia that gets paid to a farmer's family when the farmer dies. Is it necessary that be your display of commitment? Shouldn't we instead be trying to save the farmers instead?
Let me complete. Let me complete. Farmer loan, I will tell you, the crop insurance that was given by the, after 2014 in these 4 years is almost 12,000 crores. Compare the 15 years before that.
Okay, so then you explain to me, and I'll take this to Yogesh Pandey, but you explain to me, if that is the truth, why is it that the number of suicides have gone up every year in the last 3 years?
The government is definitely...
Number of suicides have gone up. Are you telling me the farmers are killing themselves for any other reason other than absolute desperation? Is there any other reason for suicide? Yogesh Pandey, please go ahead. What is the reason for suicides to have gone up in every year in the last 3 years?
No, the basic thing is the farmers are not getting loan amount for their farming activities. They are not getting appropriate price for their produce, and that is the bitter reality. We have discussed this issue several times, but on this issue government is mum and silence. Now what Mr. Narvekar is claiming that we are paying ex gratia, so have people to commit suicide to get the money. What about the living people? Faye, small thing, I am just quoting about 25 lakh milk farmers, 25 lakh, not small. They are selling milk at 16-17 rupees. We agitated the milk prices, we forced government to make it to 22-23 rupees, and government assured 5 rupees per litre incentive to be paid to farmers. It is not been paid for last 2 months. So now government is crying, you and cry that you don't have money. Now when we are comparing about statue and farmers, the thing is about prioritizing the things. What should be right now priority? Now the things in March and April are going to be very, very severe. They can note it down, and unfortunately suicide rate will shoot up. You ask them to go and visit in Marathwada, northern Maharashtra. The drought condition are not only in Marathwada, it's Vidarbha, even in Pune district, half of Pune district there is water shortage. Faye, in my town, Kopargaon, after 7 days, one time we get water in November, October month. And they are claiming that you will not get water in April. You make arrangement on your own. This is such a condition. In Yavatmal, in 15 days, they are getting one time water, drinking water. Forget about other activity. So it is very serious crisis, and we are singing tune of statues. Now, do you need, no issue. You make statue, you do anything. But what about the living people? How are you going to protect them? What about cattle? What about the fodder? They don't have any answer. They are not serious about this thing. There is no discussion. They are just claiming we are spending. One more very serious question is about the loan disbursement. This year loan disbursement amount was very compared to last 2 years small. This means either farmers doesn't need money or they have taken money from a private lender, and that is the reality. Because of that loan waiver, banks are refusing people to pay give advance loan, and that the biggest culprit is Met Department. That is a big fat elephant. They predicted 110% monsoon in May, June. And the reality is 70-75%. Now in some areas less than 50%, and some area 40%. Farmers spent on seeds, fertilizer, the crop has gone. There is no provision about yield.
Yes.
Now in our state, we have got a Nazar Anivari. I'll just explain Nazar Anivari. Nazar Anivari means Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
I
Unfortunately,
continue?
Yogesh Bhatt, I'm running out of time. There are a couple of voices I want to be able to work into the conversation. One second. Alok Kumar from Faridabad. Alok Kumar, go ahead, please.
मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि नॉर्मली जो हेलो
यस बोलिए बोलिए
नमस्कार मेरा ये प्रश्न है कि नॉर्मली काउंटर ये किया जाता है रूलिंग पार्टी की तरफ से कि पिछली गवर्नमेंट ने अपने नाम से काफी सारी चीजें बनाई है पर आप ध्यान देंगे कि वो जितनी चीजें बनी थी जैसे कि दिल्ली का एयरपोर्ट हो या मान लीजिए कि हॉस्पिटल्स हो वो बड़े स्ट्रक्चर्स को नाम दिया गया था कि नहीं के पर्सनल स्टैचूज बनाए गए थे और अगर इस तरह लिया जाए कि पर्सनल स्टैचूज तो पुराने जमाने में ताजमहल या मान लीजिए पूरे वर्ल्ड में जहां के ये दिखा रहे हैं वो उस टाइम के राजा महाराजाओं ने बनाए थे ऑटोक्रेट्स थे और इवन स्टैचू ऑफ लिबर्टी जो है वो फ्रांस ने दिया था ना कि अमेरिकन ने अपनी जेब से खर्च किया था तो यहाँ गवर्नमेंट का खर्चा करके अगर 3,000 करोड़ रुपए की चीजें बनेगी तो इज इट जस्टिफाइबल मेरा पॉइंट अगर आप समझ सकेंगे सस्पेंस को
थैंक यू फ्रॉम कोलकाता एम के अग्रवाल ऑन द फोन लाइन मिस्टर अग्रवाल गो अहेड प्लीज
Yeah, madam, I just want to say that the money spent on the statues and all these things are our money. Even a 1 minute born baby, they start giving money to the government. So this will at least ask us where this money has to be spent.
Yes.
We feel pathetic when a farmer die of hunger and all this thing. Is any leader one day even have a hunger strike? They will never do that.
Yes.
But they are spending our money lavishly.
Yes, fair enough. Sanjeev Unhale, you've heard all of the arguments so far, including the arguments from Mr. Makarand Narvekar. What is your response?
First of all, government should stop the number game. Because only by giving the compensation is not sufficient. We have to take the serious note of the problem. For example, if you are talking about the suicide, why suicides happen? Because the whole agrarian structure it has become completely demolished. And as far as Marathwada is concerned, there is no any another source of livelihood. Second thing is that the Saukari system is still intact because all the district cooperative banks became bankrupt, and the present government had made no effort to give the parallel system for this district cooperative bank. And moreover, the thing is that our area is considered as a factory of the farm laborers, that is a sugarcane laborer. So at this situation, the first priority should be given to the farmers. Nobody is going to dispute about the Shivaji statue. And its height is much more than the Sardar Patel statue. Let the competition should have, but in a comfortable time.
Yes,
I hope
my question here is, yes, I understand what you're saying. Shailesh Gandhi, my question is this, do you see this as a sort of hurry to get the statue started before the election, to win election brownie points? Because I don't understand how people who are hungry, who have not been fed, and who are suffering right now might be impressed with the news of a statue.
Two small points I'd like to make. I'm still hoping that Mr. Narvekar will respond and say this is the plan we have for handling this drought. And please remember, the sighs and tears of those who are hungry will hit you politically also. It's not just that you can get away with it. You build a statue, people like it. We respect Shivaji Maharaj, but I think if Shivaji Maharaj were around, he would have gone to Mantralaya and disciplined the whole lot. For God's sake, don't make a joke out of this. Shivaji Maharaj, we all respect, and for that you don't need big statues. We have him in our memory, we have him in our culture, and as somebody said, you can name lots of places on Shivaji Maharaj's name to immortalize him. Building statues is not the way. India seems to be the only nation today which is on a statue building spree, and I will build something taller, I'll build something taller and spend more money. Please don't do this. And I repeat, please outline your plan for the draft. Let's at least hear that you have a plan to handle this drought, that you have the money to handle this drought. Please let us know, Mr. Narvekar.
Mr. Narvekar, go ahead, please. What is your plan to handle the drought? And let's remember the drought started last year.
Exactly. The drought started last, it is first time I would say in the history, if you see, that a drought, after it has been started, immediately the government has taken proactive action and declared that 18,000 villages have been under drought. Today, if you see why, you mentioned some time back that it looks like the government is in a hurry to complete things before the elections. Let me tell you, before 2014, whether it was the media or, the opposition, today people, I would say, were crying that no work is happening. Today, people are happy that the work is happening. Today,
but what work is the question?
If you compare I would come back to the figures. Today, the figures are speaking for itself. I mean, as
Listen, Narvekar, you're
about
moving
farmers,
in circles.
the 21,000 crore crore rupees of loan waiver is historical.
How much people have
I
got
mean,
the loan
today,
waiver?
No, but people have not.
let me talk. Today, Congress, NCP. I'm talking about figures. I'm talking about facts. Today, Congress and 15 years, total of 15 years payout that the Congress NCP regime gave to the farmers was not even 7,000 crores.
I don't
so
agree with you, Mr. Narvekar.
We should take
scheme
pride
for farm waiver, you have jeopardized the scheme.
Today we
you
should
announced
take pride
34,000 crores. We have not been able to deliver 50% of the beneficiaries. And let me tell you, your flagship water conservation scheme, the Jal Yukt is a total failure. Had it been a good scheme, Maharashtra wouldn't have been facing drought as of now. And it took the chief minister to set a date. He said that we will announce drought in Maharashtra only on 31st of October. Why not before? When we knew that the rainfall is scarce, we had only 75% of the rainfall in Maharashtra. Why do you want to move on the 31st of October to declare drought in Maharashtra? Why not before?
Let me brush your memory. 2011 drought, it was declared by the then state government in 2012.
No, one second. Let's not nitpick.
The
2011 drought was declared in 2012.
Combat drought. They don't have a plan to build the statue.
So Makaran Narvekar was saying that people are complaining that the work is happening too fast. Your problem is with the quality of this so-called
work. For example, there's no planning. On the one hand, the environment clearance says no dredging.
Today,
the clearance from the Navy says that there is lack of adequate depth. You must dredge. So now, are you going to do dredging and create depths, or are you going to have accidents like we had because of lack of depths, or are you going to follow the environment clearance which says no dredging? So there are so many such problems in every aspect, whether it is to do with the soil, whether it's to do with the structural stability, whether it is to do with logistics.
So in your opinion, any money and time spent on this current plan of the memorial would be money wasted?
Yes, it's continuing to be wasted because they are not doing real progress. They are signing away at various contracts, etc., to give benefits to contractors, but not doing the real work.
All right, so this is where we stand right now, and it's really up to the people to decide, and the people will decide because there's a general election coming up, and I suppose that's what everybody has in mind. But Maharashtra is currently in debt of 4,61,807 crore rupees as of the 2018-19 financial year. In November, this year in fact, I beg your pardon, the finance department had drafted a plan in May this year, asking all departments to submit a report on surplus manpower because they decided that cutting manpower in the state government was a good way to bring down the costs because the salary burden was too heavy on the state. We are also the state with the highest number of farmer suicides in the last couple of years. The numbers of children dying from malnourishment is shocking. The numbers of women who die in childbirth because they don't have access to health services in rural India is even more shocking. What happens to the families left behind when a farmer commits suicide? Who's going to look after them? And giving them ex gratia amount is not enough. We need to make sure that our farmers are looked after in the long term. That when they actually sow a crop, that they will get a decent price in the market. And if the government of Maharashtra is unable to really decide whether they should spend 2,500 crore rupees on a statue or they should be saving the farmers and building roads, open a vote. Call for public consultation. Get the view of the people, because really it is our money. Thankfully, the Bombay High Court will deliberate on the matter and give us its verdict tomorrow, and we will bring you an update on that verdict on this channel. Thanks for watching.